My name is Chidester, and in total, I've generated over $141 million in sales with digital products, and over the last 90 days, I used Claude AI to test different ways to make money online. I tested different product ideas, different niches, different platforms, different offers, and different ways to package simple digital products. Some ideas sounded amazing at first, but were not actually worth the time. Some were too generic, some were too hard to sell, and some were just not realistic for the average person to start with. But after testing this for over 90 days, I found some of the best ways to use Claude AI to create digital products that people can actually buy. In this video, I'm going to show you exactly what I learned from that 90-day test, how I used Claude AI to create digital products faster, and the different ways you can turn those products into serious income. Some can even generate you up to $30,000 a month if you do it right, so do not skip around and make sure you stay till the end of the video, as it could change your life forever financially. Now, I'm not going to give you some random AI side hustle idea with no real strategy behind it. I'm going to break down how to think about this the right way, how to find products people actually want, how to use Claude AI to build them, and how to monetize them in multiple different ways. But before we get into it, you need to understand something important. Most people are using AI completely wrong. They think the opportunity is just asking Claude or ChatGPT for a business idea, copying whatever it gives them, uploading it somewhere, and waiting for the money to show up. And that's just not how this works. AI by itself is not the business. AI is the leverage. The real business comes from knowing what problem to solve, what you are solving for, how to package the solution, and how to make the offer feel valuable enough for someone to pay for it. That's exactly what I'm going to break down in this video. I'm going to show you how I use Claude AI to create digital products, how to choose the right type of product, how to make the product feel specific instead of generic, and then multiple ways you can make money from those products once they are created. So make sure you stay until the end of the video, because if you only understand the AI part but miss the packaging, offer, or the monetization strategy, this will not work the way you want it to. A lot of people think making money with AI is about finding a secret prompt or a hidden tool, but that is not really the game. The real game is using AI to create something people already want faster than everyone else. Once you understand that, you stop chasing random AI trends and start building digital products around real problems, real audiences, and real outcomes. So in this video, I'm going to show you the best ways I found to use Claude AI to create digital products, what I would avoid, what I would focus on, and how I would approach this if I was starting from zero. Now, with all that being said, let's get right into it. Now, the first thing you need to do is define a problem people actually care about. This is where most beginners mess up. They create something they personally think is interesting, but they never stop to ask if people are already searching for it, struggling with it, or emotionally invested in solving it. If nobody cares about the problem, nobody's going to buy the product, no matter how fast Claude helped you create it. Best digital products usually come from emotional problems, urgent problems, or annoying problems that people want solved quickly. That could be a parent trying to get their child to sleep better, a job seeker trying to improve their resume, a small business owner trying to create better content, a student trying to study faster, a fitness beginner trying to follow a meal plan, or someone who wants to organize their finances. The more specific the person and the problem, the easier it is to create a product that feels valuable. For example, a generic product like how to be more productive is weak because it is too broad, but a product like the 7-day productivity reset for overwhelmed entrepreneurs is stronger because it speaks to a specific person and a specific situation. Claude can help you build either one, but the second one has a much better chance of selling because the buyer immediately understands who it is for and why it matters. That is how I would think about every Claude AI product. Start with the audience first, then the problem, then the product. Do not start by asking Claude to make you a random ebook. Start by figuring out who you want to help and what they already want fixed. Then use Claude to create the product around that outcome. Once you have the audience and the problem, Claude AI becomes extremely powerful. It can help you create the product structure, outlines, sections, explanations, examples, worksheets, checklists, prompts, scripts, templates, and action steps much faster than trying to do everything manually. This is where the leverage really comes in, because what used to take days or weeks can now be created much faster if you know what you are trying to build. The key is giving Claude enough direction. Do not just say, write me an ebook about parenting or make me a business guide. That is too vague, and vague prompts create vague products. Instead, tell Claude who the product is for, what problem it solves, what outcome the buyer wants, what tone to use, how detailed the product should be, and what format you want in it. For example, you could say, create a practical PDF guide for first-time parents who are struggling with toddler bedtime routines. Make it supportive, simple, step-by-step, and focused on helping them create a calmer nighttime routine within 7 days. That type of prompt gives Claude a much clearer target, and the product will usually come out much stronger, but you still need to edit it. Claude can get you most of the way there, but you should just not copy and paste everything blindly. That is how you end up with generic AI products that feel cheap. You need to review the product, clean it up, remove repetition, improve the examples, make sure the advice actually makes sense, and make it feel like it was made for a real person with a real problem. The goal is not to create the biggest product possible. The goal is to create something useful, clear, and easy to consume. A simple product that solves one clear problem is usually better than a massive product that tries to solve everything. People do not want more information, they want the right information organized in a way that helps them take action. One of the easiest ways to make money with Claude AI is by creating PDF guides. This is probably the simplest starting point because almost everyone understands what a PDF guide is. It does not require complicated technology, it does not require you to build software, and it does not require a huge audience to understand what you are selling. A PDF guide is basically a packaged solution to a specific problem. And when the topic is chosen correctly, it can be a very simple product to create and sell. The reason PDF guides work so well is because people are constantly searching for answers. They want help with parenting, fitness, relationships, business, money, studying, organization, productivity, confidence, beauty, pets, health, and a million other things. But what people do not want is to spend hours digging through random YouTube videos, Reddit threads, blog posts, and social media comments trying to piece everything together themselves. A good PDF guide takes out all the confusion and turns it into one organized, easy to follow resource. That is where Claude AI becomes powerful because you can use Claude to help you outline the guide, organize the sections, explain the steps, create examples, write checklists, and make the information easier to understand. But the key is that the guide needs to be specific. A guide for busy moms who want to lose weight without cooking complicated meals is much stronger because the buyer immediately knows who it is for and what problem it solves. The best PDF guide usually focuses on one painful problem or one desired outcome. For example, you could create a guide for first-time parents trying to fix bedroom routines, job seekers trying to improve their resume, beginner creators trying to post their first 30 videos, dog owners trying to stop bad behavior, or small business owners trying to write better social media posts. The more specific the guide is, the easier it becomes to write, design, title, and sell. You also do not need the guide to be massive. This is another mistake people make. They think more pages means more value, but that is not always true. Most buyers do not want a 200-page document. They want something they can read quickly and actually use. A clear 15-page guide that solves one problem can be more valuable than a 100-page guide that overwhelms them. The goal is not to impress people with volume. The goal is to help them get a result faster. Claude can help you create the first draft quickly, but you still need to make the product feel human. You should review the guide, remove anything repetitive, add better examples, make the language sound natural, and make sure the advice actually fits the person buying it. If it feels like a generic AI article copied into a PDF, people will notice. But if it feels like a clear, organized shortcut to solving a real problem, it becomes much easier to sell. PDF guides can be sold in a lot of different places. You can sell them on Shopify if you want more control over the brand and the product page. You can sell them on Gumroad or PayHip, Stand Store, or Beacons if you want something simpler. You can sell them on Etsy if the guide is more printable or search friendly. You can also use them as a low ticket front end product that leads to something bigger later, like a bundle or a membership or a mini course, a coaching offer maybe, or services. The reason I like PDF guides as a starting point is because they are fast to test. You can pick a niche, find a problem, use Claude to create the guide, design it in Canva, put it on a simple product page, start testing whether people want it. You do not need to spend 6 months building something. You can get a good product live quickly, learn from the market, and improve from there. That speed is one of the biggest advantages Claude will give you. Another strong digital product you can create with Claude AI is a checklist or workbook. These can sometimes be even better than regular PDF guides because they feel more actionable. A guide gives someone information, but a checklist or workbook helps them actually do something with that information. And that is important because most people do not just want to learn, they want to make progress. This is why workbooks can be powerful. A person might read a guide and think, okay, that was helpful, but a workbook makes them participate. It gives them blanks to fill in, decisions to make, steps to complete, and a process to follow. That makes the product feel more interactive and more useful. Instead of just consuming information, the buyers feel like they're moving through a system. For example, instead of selling a guide called How to Start a Business, you could create a business launch workbook that walks someone through choosing their niche, defining their audience, creating their offer, writing their sales page, planning their first 30 days of content, and tracking their sales. That feels much more valuable because the buyer is not just reading advice. They are building something as they go. Claude is extremely useful for creating this type of products because you can ask it to generate exercises, prompts, worksheets, planning pages, reflection questions, step-by-step checklists, and action items. You can take a broad topic and turn it into a guided process. For example, if the topic is fitness, Claude can help create a meal planning worksheet, workout tracker or a habit tracker, grocery checklist, and weekly progress reviews. If the topic is job searching, Claude can help create a resume checklist, interview prep book, job application tracker, and network messaging templates. Best checklists and workbooks usually help people organize something that feels overwhelming. That could be launching a business, planning meals, applying for jobs, managing money, creating content, cleaning the house, preparing for a baby, planning a wedding, studying for exams, or building a routine. Whenever a person feels like, I don't know where to start, a checklist or workbook can become valuable because it gives them structure. This is also why these products can feel more premium than a simple guide. A guide might explain what to do, but a workbook workbook gives them a place to do it. That makes it easier to charge more. A simple checklist might sell for $7 or $9, but a full workbook could sell for $27, $47, or even more depending on the niche and the outcome. If the workbook helps someone save time, money, reduce stress, or complete an important task, the value becomes much higher. Another advantage is that checklists and workbooks are easy to bundle. You can create one main guide and then add supporting worksheets around it. For example, a parenting bedtime guide could include a bedtime routine checklist, sleep tracker, behavior log, reward chart, and a parent reflection sheet. A business guide could include an offer worksheet, competitor research sheet, content planner, pricing calculator, and launch checklist. Now the product feels just complete toolkit instead of just one PDF. Design matters a lot with workbooks. Since the customer is actually going to use the pages, you want the layout to be clean, simple, and easy to fill out. Canva is great for this. You can create printable versions, digital versions, or both. You can make it look polished without needing advanced design skills. The goal is to make the customer feel like the workbook is easy to use and worth coming back to. If I was starting with Claude AI, I would seriously consider workbooks because they are one of the easiest products to make feel valuable. You're not just giving information, you're giving structure, and people will pay for structure because structure saves them time, reduces confusion, and makes the next step feel easier. Templates are one of the best digital products to create with Claude AI because templates save people time. And saving people time is one of the easiest things to sell. A lot of people do not want to start from scratch. They do not want to stare at a blank page, figure out the format, write everything themselves, or make a million decisions. They want something they can plug into their own life or business and use immediately. That is why templates can work in almost every niche. Business owners need email templates, proposal templates, content calendars, client onboarding forms, sales scripts, and social media captions. Job seekers need resume templates, cover letter templates, LinkedIn message templates, and interview prep templates. Creators need video scripts, hook templates, content planners, sponsorship, pitch templates, and posting schedules. Parents need routine charts, meal planners, behavior trackers, and core charts. Students need study planners, essay outlines, notebook taking templates, and exam prep schedules. Claude AI can help create the written part of these templates very quickly. For example, you can ask Claude to create 25 follow-up email templates for freelance designers, 30 Instagram caption templates for real estate agents, 10 client onboarding email sequences for social media managers, or a full Notion dashboard structure for content creators. Then you can take what Claude creates and format it in Google Docs, Canva, Notion, Google Sheets, Airtable, or whatever platform fits the product. The key with templates is specificity. Generic templates are everywhere. Nobody gets excited about email templates because that can mean anything, but 25 client follow-up email templates for wedding photographers is much stronger. Instagram caption templates is broad. 30 Instagram caption templates for real estate agents trying to get more seller leads is more specific. The more specific the template is, the easier it is for the buyer to imagine using it. Templates are also powerful because they are outcome-based. A good template does not just give someone information, it gives them a shortcut. It says, here's the structure, just customize it. That's why people buy them. They want to move faster, they want to look more professional, they want to avoid mistakes, they want something that feels already built. Another big advantage of templates is that they can be sold individually or as a full store. You could start with one product, like a content calendar template for coaches, then you could create more templates for the same audience like sales page templates, email templates, lead magnet templates, webinar outline templates, and Instagram carousel templates. Over time, you can build an entire template shop around one specific customer. You can also bundle templates together to increase the price. One template might sell for $9 or $17, but a full freelance designer client system with proposal templates, onboarding emails, invoice reminders, client questionnaires, and project timelines could sell for $47, $97, or more. The bundle feels more valuable because it gives the buyer a full system instead of one isolated file. Claude is especially useful here because once you understand the audience, you can create multiple related templates quickly. But again, you need to edit and improve them. The templates should not sound generic. They should feel like they were written for that specific buyer. If you're creating email templates for real estate agents, the language should sound like something a real estate agent would actually send. If you're creating templates for fitness coaches, the examples should match that world. Templates are one of the most scalable digital product types because it can be reused, updated, bundled, and sold repeatedly. They're simple, but they are valuable because they remove friction. And in business, anything that removes friction can be sold. Another way to make money with Claude AI is by creating prompt packs and AI workflows. But I want to be clear about this because this is where a lot of people go wrong. Generic prompt packs are already everywhere. Nobody needs another random list of 1,000 AI prompts that are not organized around a clear result. That kind of product feels cheap because it is usually just a giant list with no real strategy behind it. Better opportunity is creating specific prompt systems and AI workflows for specific people. There's a huge difference between selling 500 ChatGPT prompts and selling Claude AI workflow for real estate agents to create listings, follow-up emails, social posts, and buyer scripts in under 1 hour. The second one feels more valuable because it is tied to a clear audience and a clear use case. A prompt pack is just a collection of prompts. A workflow is more powerful because it tells the buyer what to do first, what to do second, what to do third, and how to use the outputs. Most people do not just need prompts, they need a process. They need to know how to use AI to get a specific result without getting overwhelmed. That is where the product becomes useful. For example, you created create an AI workflow for YouTubers that helps them brainstorm video ideas, write titles, build outlines, create hooks, write descriptions, generate shorts from long-form videos, and plan a content calendar. You could create an AI workflow for coaches that helps them create lead magnets, email sequences, sales pages, webinar scripts, and client onboarding materials. You could create an AI workflow for job seekers that helps them rewrite resumes, customize cover letters, prepare interview answers, and send networking messages. Claude can help you create these workflows because you can test different prompts, improve the instructions, and organize them into a step-by-step system. The best version of this product does not just say, here's a prompt. It explains when to use the prompt, what to paste into Claude, what output to expect, how to improve the answer, and what to do with the result. That makes the buyer feel guided instead of abandoned. This type of product can also be positioned as a time-saving system. For example, create 30 days of content in 60 minutes using Claude AI is more compelling than content prompts for creators. The buyer's not really buying the prompts, they're buying the promise of creating content faster. That is the angle you want to focus on. Prompt packs and workflows can be sold as PDFs, Notion dashboards, Google Docs, mini courses, or template bundles. You can even include screen recordings showing how to use the prompts, which makes the product feel more premium. A single prompt pack might sell for $9 or $17, but a complete AI workflow system with examples, templates, and tutorials could sell for $47, $97, or even more. The important thing is to avoid being lazy with it. Do not just ask Claude to create 100 prompts and call that a product. That is exactly what everyone else is doing. Instead, build a system around a result. Show the buyer how to go from problem, finish output, and the more you make the workflow feel like a shortcut, the more valuable it becomes. This is also a great product type because AI is still confusing for a lot of people. Even though tools like Claude are powerful, most people do not know how to use them well. They type weak prompts, get weak answers, and then assume AI is not that useful. If your product helps them get better results from AI faster, that is something people can pay for. Claude AI can also help you create mini courses, and this is one of the best ways to turn a simple digital product into something that feels more premium. A mini course does not need to be massive. It does not need to be 40 modules, a huge community, or even months of content. A good mini course can be short, focused, and designed around helping someone get one specific result. This works because some people want more guidance than a PDF can give them. A PDF guide can be helpful, but a mini course feels more structured. It feels like someone is walking them through the process. That alone increases the perceived value, and when you add short videos, worksheets, templates, and examples, the product can feel much more valuable than a simple download. For example, you could create a mini course called Launch Your First Digital Product in 7 days. Claude can help you outline each lesson, write the video scripts, create the workbook, generate the checklist, write the sales page, and even create the email sequence to sell it. The final course could have 5 to 7 short lessons, and each lesson could focus on one step of the process. You could do this in almost any niche. For job seekers, you could create a mini course fixing resumes and preparing for interviews. For creators, you could create a mini course on planning 30 days of content. For fitness beginners, you could create a mini course on meal prep for the first time. For small business owners, you could create a mini course on creating a simple offer and sales page. The key is keeping the promise very specific. Claude is useful here because it can help create the whole course structure. You can ask it to turn a topic into a 5-module mini course, then ask it to write each lesson script, create a worksheet for each lesson, generate action steps, create examples, and summarize the key takeaways. This allows you to move much faster than building a course from scratch manually. The mistake people make with courses is trying to make them too big. A mini course should not feel overwhelming. If someone buys a mini course, they usually want a fast win. They want to feel like they can complete it and get a result without spending months going through content. So instead of trying to teach everything, teach the shortest path to one outcome. This is why mini courses can sell for more. A PDF might sell for $17, a workbook might sell for $27 or $47, but a mini course with video lessons, templates, and worksheets can sell for $97, $197, or more depending on the niche and result. The more valuable the outcome, the higher the price can be. Mini courses are also great because they can be built from products you already created. So if you start with a PDF guide and people like it, you can turn it into a guide into a mini course. Each chapter becomes a lesson, each checklist becomes a worksheet, each example becomes part of the training. You do not need to start over, you just upgrade the format. This is one of the smartest ways to scale with Claude created products. Start simple, prove the topic has demand, then turn it into the same core idea into a higher value version. PDF is the entry level product, the workbook helps people take action, and the mini course becomes the guided version. That gives you multiple ways to monetize the same idea. Bundles are one of the easiest ways to increase the value of your digital products because instead of selling one small product, you combine several related products into one bigger offer. This works because customers usually like feeling like they're getting a complete solution. A single PDF might be helpful, but a bundle feels like a toolkit. It feels more complete, more organized, and more valuable. For example, if you are in the parenting niche, you could create a bedtime routine guide, a sleep tracker or a word chart, a morning routine checklist, a parent reflection workbook, and a troubleshooting guide for common bedtime problems. Each of these products can be useful on its own, but together they feel like a full bedtime system. That makes the offer stronger. If you're in the fitness niche, you could create a beginner workout workout guide, meal plan, grocery list, habit tracker, progress tracker, and recipe book. If you're in the business niche, you could create sales email templates, content calendars, offer worksheets, client onboarding forms, pricing calculators, and proposal templates. If you're in the job search niche, you could bundle resume templates, cover letter templates, interview prep worksheets, linked organization guides, and job application trackers. Claude makes bundles much easier to create because once you have the main idea, you can ask it to generate supporting products around that idea. If the main product is a guide, Claude can help you think of what bonus materials would make the guide more useful. You can ask it what tools, worksheets, templates, or checklists would help this buyer apply the information faster. That gives you ideas for the bundle. Bundles are powerful because they increase perceived value without requiring a completely new audience. You are still solving the same core problem, but now you are solving it from multiple angles. Customer feels like they're getting more help, and you can usually charge more because the offer feels more complete. This is also a smart way to create different pricing tiers. You could sell a single guide for $17, a guide plus workbook for $37, and the full bundle for $67 or $97. Now customers can choose the level of support they want. Some people will only buy the cheapest option, but others will buy the bigger bundle because they want everything. Bundles also work well for promotions. You can run limited time offers, seasonal bundles, niche specific bundles, or starter kits. For example, the new Mom Sleep Survival Bundle, the Beginner Creator Content Bundle, the Freelancer Client Kit, or the 30-Day Fitness Reset Bundle. These names feel stronger than just selling one PDF because the buyer feels like they are getting a complete system. Another benefit is that bundles can make your brand feel more legitimate. If someone lands on your store and sees only one tiny PDF, it might feel small, but if they see a complete toolkit with multiple pieces, it feels more like a real product. That can increase trust and make the price feel easier to justify. If you're using Claude AI, bundles are one of the best ways to turn one idea into more value. Start with the main problem, create the core product, then build supporting resources around it. That is how you make a simple digital product feel like a full solution. Another way to monetize Claude created digital products is by turning them into a subscription library. This is more advanced than selling one-off products, but it can be powerful because it creates recurring revenue. Instead of selling one guide at one time, you create a library of resources that people pay to access every single month. This works best when the audience needs ongoing resources. So, for example, creators always need new content ideas, captions, hooks, scripts, and planning templates. Teachers always need worksheets, activities, lesson plans, and classroom resources. Parents might want printable activities, behavior charts, meal planners, and routine templates. Small business owners might want monthly content calendars, email templates, promotional planners, and sales scripts. Claude AI makes this model much easier because it can help you create new resources consistently. If you're writing a content template library, Claude can help generate new caption packs, video ideas, email templates, carousel outlines, and monthly content plans. If you are running a teacher resource library, Claude can help create worksheets, lesson outlines, quiz questions, activity ideas, and parent communication templates. The key with the subscription library is that it has to feel useful every single month. People will not keep paying just because there's a lot of content inside. They keep paying because the library saves them time, gives them new ideas, makes their life easier, or helps them get consistent results. That means you need to be clear about the ongoing value. For example, a subscription called Digital Templates Library is too vague, but monthly content calendar library for fitness coaches is much stronger. Customer knows exactly what they're getting and why they would come back each month. Specificity matters even more with subscriptions because people need a clear reason to stay. This model can also start small. You do not need to launch with 500 resources. You can start with a founding member version that includes 20 or 30 useful resources, then add new content every month. You could tell members they will get new templates, guides, checklists, or prompts added regularly. This gives people a reason to join early and stay subscribed. The pricing can vary depending on the niche. Some libraries might be $9 per month, others could be $19, $29, or $49 per month if the resources are valuable enough. A business owner might pay more for templates that save time or help make money. A teacher might pay for classroom resources if it saves hours of planning. A creator might pay for content ideas if it helps them stay consistent. The challenge with subscription libraries is retention. Getting someone to join is one thing, keeping them is another. That is why the library needs to stay organized and easy to use. If someone logs in and feels overwhelmed, they may cancel. You want categories, clear labels, simple navigation, and resources that are easy to download or copy. This is why I would not usually start with a subscription library as the very first product. I would start with one product, prove people want it, and then create more products around the same audience. Once you have multiple products and you know the niche responds well, then you can package everything into a subscription library. But once it works, this can be one of the best models because it turns product creation into recurring revenue. Instead of needing to constantly sell one product over and over and over again, you build a library that grows over time. Claude helps you create faster, and your job is to keep the library specific, useful, and valuable enough for people to keep paying. create. That is why subscription libraries are one of the bigger opportunities with Claude created digital products. They take the same idea of simple guides, templates, checklists, and workbooks, but turn them into an ongoing product ecosystem. And if you choose the right niche, that can become more valuable than selling one PDF at a time. No matter what type of digital product you create, the packaging matters. A lot of people create something useful, but they make it look cheap. Then they wonder why nobody buys. The design, title, subtitle, product page, and offer all affect how valuable the product feels. After Claude helps create the content, you should take it into Canva, Notion, Google Docs, Google Sheets, or whatever format makes the most sense and makes it look clean. The product should be easy to read, easy to use, and visually organized. You do not need to be a professional designer, but the product should not look like a messy document you exported in just 5 simple minutes. The title and subtitle also matter. Your title should tell the customer what the product helps them do. Your subtitle should make the outcome even clearer. If people cannot understand what your product does within a few seconds, they are probably not going to buy. Clarity beats cleverness almost every single time. Your product page should explain the problem, who the product is for, what is included, how it helps, and why it is even worth buying. Do not just say, download this PDF, sell the result, sell the time saved, sell the stress removed, sell the shortcut. People do not buy digital products because they want more files. They buy them because they want a better outcome. Once the product is created, there are multiple ways to make money from it. The first way is selling it directly through your own simple store. This could be Shopify, StanStore, PayHip, Gumroad, or another platform. The benefit of this is that you can control the offer, the branding, the customer experience, and the pricing. This is usually the cleanest way to build a real digital product business. The second way is selling on marketplaces like Etsy. This can work well for printables, planners, templates, trackers, worksheets, and niche digital downloads. Benefit Etsy is that people are already searching for digital products there. Downside is that you have less control, more competition, and you need to make sure your product stands out with a strong title, thumbnail, and niche. Third way is using short form content to promote the product. You can create TikToks, Reels, Shorts, or Pinterest posts around the problem your product solves. For example, if your product helps parents with bedtime routines, your content can be about bedtime mistakes, sleep tips, night routine ideas, and common parent frustrations. Then the product becomes the next step for people who want the full solution. The fourth way is building an email list. You can create a free version of your product, like a checklist or mini guide, and give it away in exchange for an email address. Then you can sell the full product, bundle, or mini course through the email. This is powerful because you're not relying on one platform. You are building an audience you can keep selling to over time. The fifth way is using bundles and upsells. Someone might come in for a $9 checklist, but then you can offer them a $27 guide, a $47 bundle, or a $97 mini course. This is how simple digital products can become more profitable. You not always need more traffic. Sometimes you need a better offer ladder. The sixth way is turning the product into a service. This is overlooked, but it can be very powerful. If you create a digital product that helps people solve a problem, some people will want you to help them do it personally. For example, if you sell resume templates, you can offer resume reviews. If you sell content templates, you can offer content strategy calls. If you sell business templates, you can offer setup help. The digital product becomes the front-end offer, and the service becomes the higher ticket back end. That is why Claude created digital products are so powerful. You're not limited to one way of making money. You can sell simple downloads, bundles, templates, mini courses, subscriptions, or services. The same idea can be packaged in multiple ways depending on how much value you want to provide and how much the customer is willing to pay. The reason this strategy works is because Claude AI helps you create faster, but the real money comes from solving real problems. People do not care that you used AI. They care whether the product helps them. They care whether it saves them time, makes something easier, gives them clarity, or helps them get a result they already wanted. That is why the niche, the problem, the offer, and the packaging matter so much. If you use Claude to create a random product for a random audience, you're probably going to struggle. But if you use Claude to create a specific product for a specific person with a specific problem, now you have something much stronger. This is also why simple products can still work. People do not always need a giant course or complicated software. Sometimes they just need a clear plan, a checklist, a template, a workbook, or a shortcut. If your product gives them that in a way that feels organized and useful, it can sell. The people who win with AI are not going to be the people who use the fanciest prompts. They're going to be the people who understand the buyer better than everyone else. They're going to know what people want, what problems they are trying to solve, and how to use AI to create helpful products faster. When you look at this entire process, the pattern should be very clear. The best way to use Claude AI is not to create random products and hope they sell. The best way to use Claude AI is to find a specific audience, identify a real problem, create a simple digital product around that problem, and then package it so the value is obvious, and then choose the right way to monetize it. That is the real opportunity with AI right now. Most people are creating lazy generic products because AI made it easy to create things quickly. But speed alone is not enough. You still need strategy. You still need a clear buyer. You still need a clear outcome. You You still need a product that feels useful enough for someone to pay for it. People do not buy AI. They buy outcomes. They buy relief, clarity, speed, convenience, organization, confidence, and shortcuts to results they already want. A parent does not buy a bedtime guide because they want another PDF. They buy it because they want less stress at night. A job seeker does not buy resume templates because they love templates. They buy them because they want a better chance at getting hired. A business owner does not buy content prompts because they care about prompts. They buy them because they want to save time and create better content. So if you want to try this out yourself, do not start by asking, what can I make with Claude? Start by asking, who has a problem I can help solve? That question will lead you to better products, better titles, better offers, and better monetization ideas. You can create PDF guides, checklists, workbooks, templates, prompt systems, mini courses, bundles, subscription libraries, or even service-based offers from the same core idea. That is why this model is so powerful. Claude helps you create faster, but your job is to make sure the product is specific, useful, and attached to a real outcome. And remember, you do not need to build the perfect product on day one. Start simple, pick one audience, pick one problem, create one helpful product, package it cleanly, put it somewhere people can buy it, then test, improve, and expand from there. The biggest advantage right now is that AI has made the product creation faster than ever, but most people are still creating low effort products. That gives you an opening if you're willing to build something specific and useful. So if this video helped you, make sure you like the video, subscribe to the channel, and comment below what digital product you would create first with Claude AI. And if you want additional help, just follow the links in the description or the pinned comment. And as always, I'll see you in the next video.